I've received lots of questions about weighted blankets because people have started to call the Save Our Sleep blankets weighted blankets. So I've decided to do a little video for you today on our Save Our Sleep blankets, what people are calling the Save Our Sleep weighted blankets. I'm not going to go over the whole bedding guide again because today I would like to just focus on blankets. This is the Save Our Sleep bedding guide. It's very important to read the text of the bedding guide, as well as the table at the back. At the back, the table gives you different temperatures for if your children are swaddled, so that would be a baby under 8 weeks who is swaddled. A baby over 8 weeks is swaddled along with a sleep bag. The sleep bag goes on first, the swaddle on the top. Then a baby who is no longer swaddled, if following my advice, that would be about 8 or 9 months, maybe even as late as a year old, then there is a different table for those babies. In the table, you have got places like Dublin and Queensland, Victoria and New South Wales, and Paris would be similar to Victoria weather-wise, as in temperature, humidity-wise. And then, so different places with different humidity have a different guide. So the bedding guide is very important, but you need to read the text. As well, in the text, it talks about a baby in a bassinet has a certain amount of blankets compared to a baby in a cot who has a different amount of blankets. So bedding guide is very important. Now, with the blankets, as Killian will show you, Killian is recording, my 12-year-old is recording, so when I say as Killian will show you, it's because he's recording. They're cocooned. Cocooned means that the blankets are put on the baby, they're pulled right up to the baby's chin. We're pretending that this is a pretty little baby. So they go right up to the baby's chin. You bring the blankets right up to the baby's chin, have them just under the baby's chin, and they are cocooned. That means that they go on the baby like this, and they are pushed in at either side, so that if the baby rolls, the blankets roll with the baby. If you have enough bedding on your baby will sleep in the safe back position with the bedding. So why have we got 4 different Save Our Sleep blankets? So let's start with the cellular blanket. So this is the grey Save Our Sleep cellular blanket. Now, all of our blankets are see-through because they're all breathable. So I don't know if you can see me through it. I don't know if Killian can show you that, but they are all see-through. They have holes in them for breathing. You might not be able to see the holes in some of them, but they are all breathable. They are made from cotton and bamboo and breathable. Our blankets are very big. Our blankets are very big. This is because we want the same blanket to be able to be used for your little newborn baby in the Save Our Sleep mini crib or a big baby in a cot. You don't want to have to keep buying blankets as your baby grows. So how do you use this big cellular blanket in the mini crib? You fold it once, which gives you 2 blankets. You fold it a second time, which gives you 4 blankets. So that is now 4 blanket layers. With some little babies, you might be able to fold it again, but I would only really ever fold it twice. So 1 blanket gives you 4 layers. So that is your cellular blanket. Now, the cellular blanket is the first one. It is our lightest in weight. So the cellular blanket is the lightest in weight, but it's the same warmth. All of the blankets, the cellular blanket, the bamboo blanket, this one is 100% bamboo blanket. We call it 95% bamboo because it has the cotton trim. The warmth of all of them is 0.6 tog, but they all weigh different. So the cellular is the lightest because it has the least amount of bamboo in it. This blanket is again 0.6, and the way it is made and the way it is weaved, it is our second heaviest blanket. Lots of people buy this blanket. It is pretty dainty, it's fragile, it's silky, and I think you'd call it fragile because it's got a very silky feel to it. And why I say fragile is it would be the most difficult of our blankets to keep perfect. People love it for newborns. It feels so soft. If you wash it and then put it in a cool dryer for 10 minutes to just fluff it a little bit, it becomes so soft and silky. It will still be soft and silky if you don't have a dryer, but not as soft and silky. People love this for brand new little babies. So that is our heirloom blanket. Then you have our luxury blanket. The way it is made, it is the heaviest blanket. It adds lots of weight to the baby. Again, it's really big. Again, it's see-through. It's like an illusion because it looks and seems like it is the biggest blanket in our range. This is the one that everybody puts onto their children's single beds. It sort of stretches as you use it, but doesn't stretch out of shape. It just feels like it stretches. The girls in the office love putting this one over their legs and over their shoulders on very cold days. And some of the girls use them as throws at home on their sofa. It is our newest blanket to the range, and it is the same warmth, but it is much heavier. So it plays a very important part of keeping your baby sleeping on their back. It is what we call a luxury blanket. It's got a nice rim. It's very textured. It is really heavy and weighted. It is the heaviest of our weighted Save Our Sleep blankets. Then we have our star blanket. Now, the star blanket, if it was the same size as those blankets, it would be heavier. The star blanket is what people use for a single layer. So if they have a baby who has 14 blankets on and they need to put one more blanket on to make, it's not 14 blankets, it's 14 blanket layers, and they want to put one more blanket on, they would use this star blanket to add that extra blanket. The star blanket is a good blanket for if you're going out walking. It's a good pram blanket. It's a nice size to have in the pram. It's less likely to unravel and get stuck under the pram wheels. And it can be a big, beautiful, nice, pretty single layer on the top of the cot. We have it in the white, in the grey. You can have white with grey stars if you put it that way. You can have grey with white stars that way. You can have grey with pink stars. These are beautiful to give it as a gift with a comforter. You can have grey with pink and white stars, or you can have the stripes on the back. They make a beautiful, pretty layer for the top of the cot. And we also have our blue, which is hiding over here with Busy Bunny. So here is our blue. So you can have the blue and white striped, or you can have the blue and white stars. So why weighted blankets? The reason we use weighted blankets is babies like the security of the blankets on top of them while they sleep. If a baby has the blankets over their tummy while they sleep, they feel as though they're sleeping on their tummy. Lots of people say, why do tummy sleeping babies sleep deeper and better than back sleeping babies? It's often because they don't feel as secure. When you put the blankets on the baby feels secure. The blankets make the baby feel safe and secure. It's like the baby is back in the womb. We are trying to sort of make the cot, the crib, feel like it's the womb, and this works. When a baby rolls to their tummy is pushed in and they feel full. They will often sleep better on their tummy because they do not think they are hungry when they're on their tummy. Never sleep your baby on their tummy. It's really, really dangerous. If you put the blankets on your baby's tummy, the weighted blankets, the baby feels like its tummy is full and it sleeps much better. Why weighted blankets? Because I have a friend in London who worked in a hospital where she had a lot of patients at night that she discovered slept so much better and more soundly when she had the hospital blankets, which are the closest blanket to my cellular blanket. They had hospital blankets on them and they slept much better. I decided to try it with babies and bingo, it worked. So, blankets, we have the cellular blanket, which comes in silver or grey and white. So we have the cellular blanket in the grey and in the white. That's our sort of bottom of the range blanket. Then we have the heirloom blanket, which comes in silver and white. That is your very silky, very delicate blanket. I would say that it's the hardest one to keep washed and dried nicely. However, people love it. And even though I think it's not that easy to look after, people just absolutely love it and buy more and more and more of them. Then we have the luxury blanket in the grey and in the white.